Hello and welcome to Norwegian Woods. Today I'm on another trip. I'm going to spend 2 nights in my hammock, and tomorrow I'm hoping I can do some map and compass exercises. There's another nature reserve I want to check out. This nature reserve is called Vestfjella Naturreservat, and I've been around this area, but I haven't been inside the nature reserve before, so it's new ground for me. So it's starting to get a little bit late, so I have to get my camp up and make myself some firewood. Then the hammock is in place, and the next thing is to find myself some firewood. Since I'm going to stay here for two nights now, I brought a little bit better tools to make a little bit more firewood with less effort. I actually usually take this for my winter camping, but it's good. In the area where I put my camp, there's a lot of these dead pine trees, and for the last week it's been raining like crazy, so most of them is actually quite wet. So I think I have to take a little walk around the area, see if I can find something suitable. Ooh. Smells like fat wood. Seems like the fire is going good. The spot I choose for the campfire is just a thin layer of soil and roots, and it's rock right under, so it should be a safe place to have the fire, I think. I just have to watch the roots. It's getting too dark for filming, so I think I just make myself a little bit of food, then I go to bed. It is actually pretty nice temperature tonight. The thermometer says 14 degrees, and it's not very late in the night yet, so it will probably get quite a lot colder in the morning. So 14 degrees, that's good. Good morning. I've been awake for a couple of hours. Made a new fire. I'm trying to cook some chicken. I had actually planned another way of attaching it to the sticks to keep it over the flames, but I forgot some line at home, so I had to improvise a little bit, but it seems to work good. The chicken is smelling really nice, so I think it would be an excellent lunch and dinner, hopefully. So, what do you think of that? It looks pretty good, if you ask me. It's grilled and smoked with some nice spices. I guess this is chicken just the way God intended. I just finished my chicken. It was really good. And now I'm ready for some scouting, some exploration, and some navigation training. The lake you can see behind me here is right on the edge of the nature reserve. So the spot that I picked for my campsite is actually right outside the actual nature reserve. The reason I did it like this is because inside the nature reserve I wouldn't be allowed to cut down trees for firewood, and I cut down a tree yesterday, and it was really good firewood. It was a little bit wet on the outside, but it was bone dry inside, so it was perfect. But now I'm ready to take a little trip inside the nature reserve and take a look around in there and see if I can find some interesting nature. I want to make like a super basic introduction to map and compass navigation. And first off, I just want to show you 3 different kinds of compasses that's commonly used. The one in the middle is kind of a button compass. I think that many people carry this kind of compasses in their survival kits and stuff like that. But a simple compass like this, it can certainly give you direction to where north and south is, but it's not. I don't think this is a really good tool if you want to do exploration and hiking. The other kind of compass is the one here. It is a really good one. It's okay. It's a cheap model, but the kind of compass is really good. And you have this mirror you can use for different kind of navigation tasks. And you also have this disc that you can turn around, so you can set the directions. I'll show you a little bit more later. But this compass I haven't used so much, because this compass is, I think, is the perfect way to go if you want to do some easy hiking, because it's easy to set up, it's pretty sturdy, and it gives you pretty much everything you need for like everyday use in the nature, together with a map. So I'll show you a little bit closer. This is the compass that I usually carry when I'm out in the woods. As you can see on this compass, it has some scales around the edge, and it's got this disc that you can turn around. And this makes this, I think, a really useful compass. And if you take a look at this side, it has an arrow. And when you first set out the direction on the map, then you can use just the compass. And I'll show you how to do that. This is the area I'm in at the moment, and this green line marks the nature reserve that I'm going to check out. I'm not going to check out all of it, but a little part of it. And on a map like this, the blue part is water, and the green here is dry land. And there are some parts of the map that's like this. That's white with a lot of lines in it, and that's wet areas, marsh areas. So I'll try to avoid them. And I can see that inside this nature reserve there's a lot of these wet areas, and there's small lakes all around the place. So I don't think I'll go into this part of the nature reserve. But this little lake here, that's where I'm at the moment. I'm at the very tip of this side of the lake. And I think the first little hike I want to do is to go up to this spot. It's the highest place in the whole area, it looks like. So maybe I can get some overview over the nature reserve from this part, I hope. And on every map, the direction upwards is always north. And on my compass, the red arrow, it points to the north. So if I want to, I can put my map like this. Then you can see this these lines points the same direction as the north arrow inside my compass. So now the map is in exactly the correct direction compared to the real world. This is actually really not that important at this moment, because what I want to do now, I want to make this arrow point from the point I'm at and to the point I want to go. So what I do, I just lay one side of the compass, you can see, to the spot I want to go from the spot I'm at. This is the direction, and then I just turn this disc so the red arrow inside this this turnable disc is pointing upwards on the map, something like that. So after I've done this, I can just take away the whole map, and when I turn my compass so that the red arrow inside the disc is pointing the same as the red part of the moving arrow that's floating inside this this disc, then I know that this arrow points the exact direction I want to go from what I choose from the map. And I think that's what I'm going to do. So hopefully there's some nice things to watch on the way there. The way I use this arrow is that I find the direction by aligning the floating arrow against the arrow I turned in on the map, and then I see the direction of the arrow inside the compass, and I hold it like this, and I find myself a spot as far away as I can see, and I walk to that next spot, and when I get there I do the same thing. I just take up my compass, align it with the floating arrow inside, and I find myself a new spot, and that's the way to move along in the terrain. So I just find myself a tree up there, and I'm going to go there before I find my next tree. I believe there's been some woodpeckers hammering along on this piece of dead pine. I just reached the top of the mountain, or I should probably say hill, because it's not actually that big, and it's quite a lot of trees around here, so it's a little bit hard to see the area around, but I can see there's a small lake down there. This is actually the very top, the peak of the mountain I'm on. It's called Djupvannshögda, and I think everywhere you go in Norway, when you get to a little peak, some special place, you find this pile of rocks everywhere. Norwegians have put this, I think they call it a varde or a røys. I don't know the English word for it, but you can find this everywhere. Small hills, big mountains, everything. If there's a top, you can be quite certain there is one of these. Yeah, I just got back 15 minutes ago, and I got into a little bit of rain on the way back, so I'm actually quite wet. So my first priority when I got back was to light another fire. That's always good. The rain has stopped, and I think the sky is just beautiful. The fire has been going for quite a while now, and the rain is coming and going a little bit. So it's a good thing I had my tarp. So the sleeping bag will be nice and dry and warm. The second half of the chicken was really good, and most of my clothes are starting to dry up quite a bit from sitting next to the fire. So should be a good day tomorrow. It's a little bit sad to leave this place because it's really nice. I think I have plenty of firewood for the fire tomorrow. So I think that's about it for today. So I'll see you guys in the morning. Tonight it's a little bit colder than last night. It's a little bit later in the evening as well, so the thermometer shows 8 degrees, and it will probably go down quite a few degrees more, so maybe 4 or 5 degrees in the morning, but that shouldn't be any problem. Ooh. Good morning. Just making myself some breakfast. Well, I woke up about half an hour ago and had a good night's sleep. I slept a little bit longer than I expected, but that's okay. So it's my last day in this beautiful spot. It's been a couple of good days. It's a little bit wet yesterday, but that's okay. Now I'm ready to pack up my camp and leave for home. I just want to show you something before I leave. It's a beaver house. It's literally like maybe 200 meters from my campsite. So far I haven't been able to capture any wildlife. There's a sign of wildlife everywhere in these woods, but the animals are pretty shy. I don't know. When I'm at home, I have roe deers right in my backyard all the time. I don't know how old this beaver house is. It's growing stuff on top of it, so it's not entirely new. But I've got to say, they picked a really nice spot for the little house. I can see on the branches that they put on top of this house. It's a lot of bite marks, so it's proof that it's a lot of labor that's gone into this little construction. So that's it for this time, and I have to say thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you very soon. Bye bye. This is actually right outside my kitchen window at home. It's a roe deer. It's resting in my backyard. Pretty cool. There's a lot of roe deers right here in this populated area. It's cool because they are so used to people that you can get really close to them. It's not like out in the woods.